My name is Helen Evans, and I'm going to be reading a memoir I've written called Time. Time is the very essence of our lives. A time to live, a time to die, time to spare, borrowed time, time wasted, a right time, a wrong time, and now socially distanced time. But perhaps most important of all is the passage of time and how we perceive it at the various stages of our lives. In childhood, time for me seemed unending and passed ever so slowly. There was always time in abundance, a time to play, to study, to dream, time just to be. Many's the time in the summer I would lie on a grassy hillside watching the clouds move across the sky and feeling the sun's intermittent warmth on my face. It gave one the feeling of timelessness. Birthdays were 365 days apart, and it seemed to take forever for them to arrive. Can't wait seemed to be the precedent for all aspects of my life. Can't wait for the holidays, for Christmas, for my birthday, for exams to be over, for school to start. Can't wait to grow up, have my periods, have breasts, have a boyfriend, get married. But oh, how long it took. Time seemed to crawl at a snail's pace. After childhood, there was work, study, having fun, falling in love, getting engaged and married. Time became related to events, going from one to another. Can't wait seemed to have disappeared and life was speeding up. At least until I got pregnant and time seemed to slow down. Its passage related to my body's changes and the exciting expectation of my first child. Towards the end of the 9 months pregnancy, I longed for time to speed up and my very heavy body to be relieved of its burden. And then suddenly, before I knew it, I was in hospital. But then time seemed to stand still throughout the 19 hours of labour. Would it ever come to an end? Surely this was eternity. Then it was over, and time changed its focus. Busy, busy, busy. Why were there never enough hours in the day to breastfeed, burp the baby, change diapers, bathe, do laundry, not to mention shopping, cooking and cleaning? If only there was more time to sleep. A luxury, especially with Andrew, a colicky baby. I thought it would be worse with the arrival of my second child, Susan, but somehow there seemed to be more time. She was a happy baby. There was time to play, to sing, to read, to have fun, to explore. I remember one Sunday as my children and I were returning from church. Our path crossed an army of marching ants carrying bits of earth. My son and I got down on our hands and knees, quite oblivious to the chafing of the skin on the hard, rough sidewalk on Westview Avenue, while my daughter surveyed this wonder of nature from her buggy. It was fascinating that such tiny creatures could carry such heavy loads. We watched for ages, and yet it seemed timeless, a fraction of time in all our lives, a time forever to be remembered. I was a stay-at-home mum for 12 years, and then my husband bought a commercial boat and went fishing. Lack of money compelled me to go back to work. Time started speeding up, and each minute became important. Just organizing my life. Work, house, children, husband, preparing food required more time than I seemed to have. Always in a hurry with no time to relax. Then the boat was sold, husband in a regular job, children growing up and leaving home. Years flew by quicker than a flash. Then it was time to retire and let life take on a new perspective. After all, didn't I now have all the time in the world to do the many things I planned to do? It hasn't quite worked out that way, though I did have and still do travel, at least before the pandemic. Kept in touch and visit family and friends. Time to read, to write, to meditate. I've slowed down, but time hasn't, and I've come to realize that each day is important, to live, to enjoy, and be satisfied. No point worrying about tomorrow. I have all eternity to look forward, and today to enjoy.